On his debut, Uppbeat wins at Spa.
It's Martinez in Montreal. David beats Goliath.
It's a true underdog story. John Evans wins at Mexico.
And it's Super Sam Corby who takes the PlayStation Championship.
FRA Ron takes his first WOR Championship. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jake Benham is a two-time WOR champion.
Stop it! Around the outside of the line. Shadow is contact again. Ron is around.
Melanie, surely is going to win here at Abu Dhabi. He does.
16 races across 5 continents. From Brazil to Belgium and Bahrain to Britain. Soon this story starts. Across 3 platforms, hundreds will begin the quest. The quest in search of glory and the right to be called a WOR champion. Lights out, and we're racing in Season 12.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to WOR Season 12, where we're going into Mexico this race, and it's going to be the Tier 5. Yes, a new set of voices here. I myself is Hyperactive, and I'm joined by Epic Freestyler. How are you doing, Epic?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing spiffing. You know, I've had a pretty relaxing day. Beat's been up all day, setting everything up. It's looking amazing, and I'm feeling amazing, much like the race we have ahead of us. Now I'm gonna go straight in and saying about some of the drivers, because you yourself, Epic, have raced with a couple of them. I can't remember which ones you said you have, but elaborate further on that.
So I raced with JJ. It was quite a while ago, but he's a good racer. He's got some good racecraft. So he's had some bad luck in this tier, but I think everybody's had a bit of bad luck at some point. But yeah, he's quite good. He's got some pace, and he can generally push for that sort of midfield and even going towards the front. And the other one is also the Slapper. He was in the same tier as I am, and then he left. But he's got some pace as well. Currently leading the championship on 155 points.
Ooh, 155, that's a good spree. Is that how many wins? I can't do the math in my head.
He's had 5 wins so far. That is... I'm actually a bit shocked by that.
That is decent runnings. To get 5 wins is a strong demonstration of pace, control, and most likely some racecraft and some overtaking moves that I look forward to seeing. Now, going into Mexico, it's one of these tracks where we're gonna experience a lot of track limits with Mexico.
Yeah.
I myself, picked up before. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold it there. I'm gonna quickly talk about, because it popped in my head, the desyncing problem. For the viewers who are out there, and who are not familiar with anything about F1. Online games, we go to a server, and that server syncs us all up to one place, and we race at one point. Now, recently, we've been having some desyncing problems. EA are aware, Codemasters are aware, and they are trying to fix it. But unfortunately, this weekend has been hindered by some problems. So
I suspect it will carry on, personally. It's quite a difficult thing. I remember when the game first came out, there was quite a lot of desync. But also, I think recently it's worse. I raced at Mexico yesterday in WOR4. We had huge problems with, we had a few problems with desync in qualifying. and then we just had some glitches with the game away from desync. But desync is a really big problem. It can do a few things, but one of the most common things is, for instance, one driver cannot see another, and that is not a good thing because they could just go straight into the back of them.
Yeah, I had it yesterday in my race. So desyncing problem will mean that essentially during the race, you completely disconnect from everyone else. Everyone appears on your screen as they have just left. And that is the clearest sign of desyncing. There are rules that have been put in place, which will be the case of if a high number of people start to desync, the race will be restarted. If there is a large number who desync in qualifying, they will if one person desyncs in qualifying, everyone will leave and then put them back into the race. So we do have contingency plans around it. So if there is a problem, we can get everyone back in, which fingers crossed, and I pray and hope for today, we do not get any desyncing problems in this Mexican Grand Prix, which let's talk a bit more briefly go over about the track. And I was starting to talk about the invalidations that have come around this track, and there are quite a few areas to invalidate, one of them being in sector 2.
Yeah, S section, very difficult part of the circuit, especially for track limits. You have to learn it quite thoroughly, and you also have to be able to do the section well to go fast enough and not lose too much time, but also stay within track limits, because track limits are really, really strict to that specific section.
It's beyond strict. I think really strict is just a pure understatement to how strict it is. Particularly once you go past both the RS zones, heading into the chicane there, the track narrows down massively. And you've got to be pinpointing your braking and your steering to make sure the car stays within the track. Again, which then leads to track limits. Now, there are certain areas of the track you can extend the car and get away with it. Again, if they are caught doing that, or even if they do exceed track limits, they are told to step off the gas and essentially concede that lap. Being tier 5, I'm going to assume these guys are going to respect that rule.
Hopefully. It's difficult, though. It's really difficult.
It is.
Out of turn 3, it gets narrow all of a sudden when you're coming off of the exit of turn 3. It just all of a sudden just closes in on you. It looks like it's wider than it is when you start to go into turn 1 and turn 2. And I think that is the tricky part of turn 3, and I think it is quite difficult. But if you want to really master it, you have to get the apex of turn 1 and the apex of turn 2 absolutely perfect. Use all of the curb, use every little bit of track limits you can to then be able to get a better exit out of turn 3. But also, as you were saying, going into the left-right chicane, the track tightens up a lot. Now, there's 2 places just near there where there is, again, another problem through out on the exit of turn 5. Again, track limits, quite difficult because it does the same thing as turn 3. But also, off the double right-hander, it's, again, the more you push down on the throttle, it's very much about which gear you choose. You go with the second gear, you're going to get a little bit more oversteer, but you'll get a better exit, but you are risking it. But if you go lower gear, you're going to lose a lot of time, especially if you go gear 3, you're going to lose a lot of time, but you are going to stay safe and you won't get a warning.
And especially in race pace, you want to play safe than sorry. I'd much rather have less penalties against me, because that can be the make or break of this race coming up. And we've seen it in the few other tiers. You know, we've seen it in tier 1, we've seen it in tier 2, and we're going to see it today in tier 5. That it's going to be the top runners, the one that's, you know, done well but has maintained least amount of penalties. They're possibly going to nick essentially the win off the leaders.
Yeah, really, I have to say it's all about strategy at this circuit. Yes, there's a lot of overtaking. You can do a lot of overtaking, especially down into turn 1 and on that very long pit straight. But it's really the thing of what you realise is whoever's on the stop will start to pull away. off the start. But what you have to try and do is, if you're starting from outside of the top 10, of course, from 11th downwards, you can choose whatever tyre you want, and it does help. Although if you go for mediums, that first stint, you will be a bit slow, but then you could push the softs possibly.
You could indeed, and you said about the medium starting off on those being a stronger strat. But at the same time, you know, this is technically a 2-stop track. You could 1-stop it if you're really pushing it, but a 2-stop strategy is the most predominant. Now, if you are in the top 10, you've then got to play that mind game of, am I going to do the medium stint on mediums, or let's say not mediums, so the first stint. Wait, I'm going to get my numbers right eventually. The second stint on mediums or softs. And that's going to be the game changer within the race, as you're mentioning about the strategy. Because if you go fast, you could gain positions, but at the same time, you could, you know, decide to go long and then go for the pace at the end.
Yeah, I think really what the difficulty is that for medium runners, they could do a 2-stop, but there's also the 1-stop. But sadly, for the people inside of the top 10, they don't have that. I wouldn't say they really have that option because they're starting out on soft.
Absolutely.
They're going to go soft, medium, probably then soft again.
Well, that being said, we are about to get into the race, and well, if you only just joined to this race, we're going into round 9, which will be the Mexican Grand Prix. And we've been chatting about this for the last couple of minutes, and well, we're looking forward to the track. It's been around on the calendar for yonks, took a large break, but now it's back. In Season 11, we saw history with 3 drivers making new appearances to the win. This 2.67 mile circuit has 17 corners and 3 DRS zones, 2 of which are stupidly powerful, and we could see a lot of overtaking. That being said, you know, the overtaking zones don't just limit to the straights. It will be limited to where you can put the car, as seen here. Sector 2 turning into turns 4 and 5. And then into 6, we saw Tier 1 from the Xbox side go 3 abreast. And if you thought that was it, no. Then later on in Season 11 PC Tier 1, the 2 dancing Red Bulls decided to go and battle it out, going 1 or 2 on the start of the lap, going into the second sector. Now, there is going to be a lot of hype going into this. I'm looking forward to this qualifying, seeing what lap times are produced. Now, you're Epic, you're a Tier 4 driver, am I not mistaken?
No, you are right.
It is a Tier 4. So, what is the lap times we're going to be seeing with these guys?
Now, I just want to say, currently in this qualifying, it's actually a bit different. The weather, it was cooler in the qualifying that I did, but we're definitely going to see times going to maybe the 1 minute 14s. I think pole time in my race was around 1 minute 14.1, which is very fast. I couldn't even get close to that, but I think we could be seeing a few drivers starting out on mediums trying to find what time it's going to get to, but I think most likely pole time could be an easy 14.5.
So quite low in respective to, as I'm a Tier 8 driver, so I was maybe doing 1/16s. We're not going to talk about that.
That ain't bad.
It ain't bad. But yeah, 1/14s, we're definitely going to see them being pulled out. Out on track is the Damon Rocks? How the hell? There are some
Damon
creative
Rocks,
names in this lobby.
I think it's Damon Rocks, I believe.
We'll call him Damon, as he will be the first driver to cross the start-finish line and show us a lap of this track. You know what, Epic? I'll leave this all to you.
Thank you. So you can see you have to get the exit. Coming out to that last corner, you have to get it right, and he has a bit of wheel spin. But coming onto the longest pit straight on the F1 calendar, really, it's all about straight line speed here. So far, looking pretty good. He is on mediums, so possibly he might go safer in case he does have to use these tires. Braking around 100 meters, going into the corner. He does lock up now, getting the apex right. He does. He goes a bit deep though, but he does keep it pretty nice. I have to say, very nice through sector 1 so far. Now coming down towards turn 4, hard braking into a very tight left-handed. This is where the track closes up. Then turn 5, we're then going to come to turn 6 and 7, the double right-hander, possibly one of the most difficult parts on the circuit. Now we're going to come to the best bit, my personal favourite, the S section, the left-hander followed by a quick right and then a left, and then a very tight right and left, and I believe he would have invalidated that lap there as he did go a bit too far in. But now coming into sector 3 as we just begin, braking at around 100 meters, little bit early on the brakes, but keeping it nice and easy now into the hairpin. One of the most difficult places to actually find grip, but keeping it very nice within track limits. And coming around the last corner, he does have some contact with the wall, and
It's not the...
That's the end of the lap.
Yeah, he's not the only driver who's messed up. BRT Wolf was on a hot lap and has completely spun it. He's in the back of the wall. We do get a lap time, though, by, I believe that's his teammate. The colours are so similar, it's hard to tell.
No, it's not. It's BRT Wolf is in the Alpine.
So it would be the Williams of JJ11, as we are watching... How the hell would you say this Haas driver's name? We'll call him Lies. And the only bit I can get is Lies at the end.
For Lies.
The Lies. They don't choose nice names, I definitely tell you that. But this is going to be a very strong looking lap. Again, medium tyres going for the banker run. 1:16.8, so decent.
Good lap.
It's decent.
That's actually a pretty good lap on the mediums. I only went about 0.2 faster than that. But it's very difficult at first. Grip is quite low when drivers first go out there. But Bibbin on top at the moment with a 15.6. Very strong lap time there from Bibbin.
We're going to see many drivers decide to go on mediums to try and put in their fast lap times? Or do you think that these guys are going to just bang it out right at the end with the softs?
It all depends on that first run. Because if they go out on mediums first, and they're, for instance, like JJ, who's last at the moment, he's going to go out on then another maybe 2 sets of softs to try and get higher up. But if you're going out on softs first, you can then have maybe the mediums in between to see what your medium pace is and see what lap you can do, and then you can use softs at the end. It's very difficult. It all comes down to the driver and how nice their car is feeling, really.
Yeah, and we just saw Alex Daegu going across the line, getting 5th fastest. Decent 1:17.0. Whether he can push that into the 1:16s, that's going to be a question in itself. And I know I said 1:16 earlier about my lap time. It wasn't. It was a 1:17. I just realised I wasn't that fast.
It's still not bad.
You don't have to butter me up. And the Ferrari of Itzvan has spun again through the S's. That believes to be turn 9.
It's just the curve. That's all it is. It's just the curve. It just catches you on that. I believe that would have been the right tyre. It just gets you to start spinning. The rear loses grip because you're going so fast. That's really the only reason. Alex Daegu retires.
He's retired on track. What has happened here? I can't see it from.
Trying to find him.
Yeah, I'm currently watching Bortoro. We're going to call him
Bortorito.
Bortorito. Ooh, that's a fancy name. Bortorito, he's currently on his lap. Did you see where Alex was?
No. I believe it could have been towards the start of the lap. Yeah, it was. It was towards the start because green flags have just been waved as though, good lap. That was a very good lap.
15.9 is very decent indeed. That's going to put him in 2nd place. And definitely in contention that we might be seeing him and Biden, or is it, no, Bidden? That's the
Yeah,
one.
Bibbin.
Fighting it out for this pole position.
Bibbin's still 3/10 in front. That's a huge difference. As edited form just goes P3 on the soft of the 16.5, but still, Bibbin, he's pulled away a bit. I think he just put in a really good lap, and oh my god!
Yeah. That number says it all. 0.2 faster by BRT Wolf, showing the pace within the Alpine. Whew. Or is that the Williams? That's a Williams, sorry.
That's an Alpine.
That is an Alpine. I don't know these colors. Why did they have to have 3 teams that had similar colors? That bit I don't get. Either way, the pace is showing. It is shining. We might get a 3-way battle as the Ferrari at Itzvan goes 1:14.8. He's dipped into the 14s. We said it was going to be a 1:15.5 area. Then it's now going to the 14s. What can Tibad do? It's going to be only 9th fastest. And already we're getting a bit of a spicy qualifying.
My fault. I didn't mean a 15. I meant a 14. I'm completely forgetting lap times.
Keep an eye out for JJ. JJ is a second up on his time. This could be mid-pack. And this is a Williams driver.
Ninth. At the moment, what is he going to put in? He go. Oh my! Oh, what the hell was that?
They are finding the grip and groove. I don't think we're going to be left with any 17s by the end of this session. Guaranteed.
Was on a lap, I believe. Was this an outlet? Or no, I think he's backed off. Pingu also backed off a bit. So far, I do think that it's all gonna come down to who can just find that little bit more grip, especially through that S section, which seems to be a very troubled spot for a few drivers. I think it's gonna be a difficult spot. I think a few people are struggling because the curbs try and spin you round. I struggled through the S section a bit as I don't know how to say his name. We'll just call him Lies. Goes with a 15.8.
IK Verlines. Verlines. There you go. Got it eventually.
IK Verlines. Oh, okay. That's easier. But he's gone P5, but that is still around a second off of pole, which is a big difference. Has Istvan just found time where maybe other drivers just can't find it possibly? He's 6/10 faster than BRT Wolf, which is a lot of time to find in one lap.
It is a lot, and that's where I would love to be able to just sit down and see what his sector times and where he's picking up the pace. Actually, there you go. There's a little task for you, Epic. You mind going into race director and giving us those facts? Because I've got a gut feeling that he's possibly pulling this out in the second sector.
Okay, I'm just gonna hang on. So BRT Wolf put in a 28.4 in the first sector. It was a 28.2 from Istvan on his best lap.
That's a 2
So he goes
second.
2/10 faster.
Oh, 2/10. Tenths. Sorry.
In the
Jumping the gun.
sector. Yeah, 2 seconds. Oh my god. He goes another 2/10 faster in sector 2, and looking at sector 3, he goes another 2/10 faster. So he's just finding on average 2/10 per sector from BRT Wolf. Yeah, he's just pulled up. I think he's purple in all sectors at the moment, I believe. I think I'd have to run through everybody to check who's gone fastest through the sectors. But I do believe Istvan's gone really fast because I do think he's gone fastest because he's just gone 2/10 faster in second place in every sector, which is a lot to gain. But BRT Wolf, I believe, is on a lap currently.
Bibbin's on lap as well. So there's quite a few people going out for their second run, and we're going to, as I said, keep an eye on Bibbin for the moment because he's currently in 4th with a 1:15.6. He's got to really shave off a couple of seconds. Now the track is wearing in, it's getting more grip. So in theory, we will see an improvement. The question is, how much of an improvement? Rounding the final corner, short run to the line, It's going to be second
Oh,
fast.
good.
It's the 1:15.1, but it's not the 1:14s that he wants to be in.
But that is still a really good lap time. That just shows that grip. There is a lot more grip now than there was 5 minutes ago. It just shows that the track has evolved and the drivers have gotten used to the track and everything. And this is how they're just putting. Oh my!
Oh, it's spazzing up nicely, isn't it? BRT Wolf going 1:14.7, finding a 10th faster than It's Fun. Wow.
I believe Bortorito's just gone 7th and Pingu's gone 8th, as I believe. Isfan's on the lap now. I'm watching Isfan because this is big. If he invalidates the first lap, hopefully he'll have enough fuel for the second lap. But if he doesn't, he could be out of contention for pole.
He will definitely need to make sure this is the lap of his life.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Oh, that was actually really good.
All of the track definitely needs to be used where possible. Dipping those wheels over the lines, but still keeping the front wheels in. You can see he's pushing the boundaries. Now got his teammate ahead. The teammate needs to dive out the way, and he will do. So Sam is out the way, and it's now a clear run. He's got a clear path for the next couple of corners. You've got
Oh! Little bit slide on the rear. And again! Oh my god.
He is
Oh,
running
no, he's
mediums.
Got some traffic up ahead.
No, he's not.
He's running so. He's got some traffic up ahead from Bortorito, who moves out quite late. Can't lie, that was quite a late move from Bortorito. As here he comes round the final corner. No, he's going in. He's going in.
Was it possibly the sliding in Sector 2 then?
Possibly. It all just depends on not so much how fast he was going, but JJ is just about to go on a lap as well. But I'm not sure really. It looked like he was going faster. It actually did. It looked like he was going about a 10th or so faster because I can't see the actual how much faster they're going at the moment.
Well,
Because I can't even see it on the steering wheel. JJ into the wall.
Yeah, that ain't good. That is not what you want to see, and that's going to be wing damage for JJ as well. Yep, front left end plate completely ripped off. So he will have time to. He will just have. He'll be pushing it.
He will. I don't because remember the pit crews on this game are sadly so slow at getting you into the pit. It takes about 20 to 30 seconds to get you in and out of from just your own sort of pit box. But I don't think he's going to be able to make it in time. But would you like a quick rundown of the timing?
Go for it. I love a little juicy bit of data.
So Isfan to Marty is off by just a 10th from BRT Wolf, almost exactly. Bibbin is 4 tenths, while Artem G is 7.5, over 7.5 tenths off, which is a very big gap. Just 4 tenths, about 3.5 tenths between third and fourth is quite a big gap. JJ 8 tenths off. Then everybody else goes over a second, and pretty much it's almost all the same, going all the way down to P12 that is 2 seconds off, and so on. It just goes down to about 2.4 seconds off at most. Damon Rocks is on another lap, but he's 22 seconds off. That was his best lap. I'm a bit worried for him if he was pushing.
Bibbin is about to start the lap. He is in third currently. You said nearly 4 tenths down. He has one more shot. Well, he has 2 shots technically right now.
Yeah.
Whether he will push on the second one is going to be the question. So if he makes a mistake, he has a safety net. That as well.
If he has fuel. That's the big thing. If he doesn't have fuel, practically useless. But the big thing he is going to have to fight is traffic, because people are starting to line up a little bit for their laps. And so we're going to... editor Ickverlines leaves.
Satisfied with the lap?
Because we're timing it on circuit.
No, I think he's in the pits.
is...
And Bibbin is good, invalidated.
How did you see that? Wait.
There is a Mercedes who I
Now
think
I
has
see.
crashed into the wall, but Bibbin invalidated, so that means the next driver will...
It's BRT Wolf. It's Wolf.
No,
The
he's
man-
invalidated.
Oh, he missed it.
Itzvan is going to be the next of the top 3 to put in a lap time. Now, of course, anyone else can nick it off them. Wolf's going into the
Bibbin's
pits.
going for another one.
As there is an Alpha Tauri spun. I think that is Painda, or it is Borto. I'm not sure who.
Yeah, Bortorito's out.
Oh, it's Bortorito.
Bortorito has retired. Damon Vox is round. That's disappointing.
The pressure is...
He's on a good lap.
Yeah, the pressure's getting to these guys. We're seeing lots of mistakes unfolding. And now the checkered
was
flag is
fast as
out.
well.
Checkered flag's out.
It's
Itzvan
700s up.
Itzvan takes pole. 1:14.58. What a run by him. His teammate will not improve. Bibbin is also on a flying lap.
Oh, using all of the circuit. He's used everything on the circuit. Perfect through the S section. This is a great lap from Bibbin. Come on.
Purple middle.
I'm rooting for him a little bit. He's just gone 1,000th faster. He's gone 1,000th fastest in the middle sector. 1,000th, I don't think will be enough. He's P4 currently, his Artem goes P3. Here comes Bibbin coming round the last corner. Only P3 for Bibbin.
I think there was a bit of rear end on the exit of the final corner, which lost him huge amount of time. Well, I say huge, it's enough to be, to lose the chance. And I do believe...
That's it.
Yeah, that's everybody. What an interesting qualifying that was.
I'm just shocked. That came really close. That came right down to the end. But Itzvan, I want to know from this guy, like, how did he just turn it up just that little bit more? Because he was about a tenth off. He had to improve by 2.5 tenths, and he just somehow turned it up that little bit more. I think Wolf, because he invalidated on his lap, I think that just lost him out a little bit. If he didn't, I think possibly Wolf could have been on pole. We'll never know, though.
We will never know. Never know. Either way, it is what it is, and once again, congratulations to Itzvan in the Scarlet Red Ferrari, demonstrating how it's done round Mexico. Wolf coming in second, being 0.14 seconds behind, and it was still close as Bibbin goes in third. Artem in fourth, Hajar in fifth, TK Dab in sixth, Damon in seventh, JJ11 in eighth. They're getting some difficult names here. Valais in 9.
JJ.
Valais in 9th. Pineda in 10th.
Bortorito in his 11th.
Really?
They are not easy names.
Really?
I tried my best.
No, not at all. Oh my god.
So
we should just tell them to just shorten their names to like 2 letters. And it'll be so much easier.
2 or 3 letters short of their name make it easier for all of us. Because let's be honest, you give us something that is too complicated, then hell no, I'm not going to be able to say it. That being said, we're heading into the race. A lot of these drivers are going to be starting on the soft tyres, especially the front runners. So what is the go-to strategy?
Of course, top 10 are locked on the softs. I want to start off with the top 10 because they've got a lot more of a difficult strategy. They're locked on the soft. So most likely for them, it will be a 2-stop. Unless they want to try and push the softs till lap 10, 11, and then go for hards. Still pretty much, I would say, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a lot of tyre saving on the hards, which will lose them, of course, a lot of pace. But most likely, I'm going to say soft, medium, soft, or the second one will be soft, soft, medium. But most likely, I would say the first one. For people starting 11th and backwards, I think they're going to be going for mediums to start off with, and then I think they're going to be doing a soft. So they do basically pretty much almost the reverse of that first pit stop, going from mediums to softs instead of soft to mediums. I think that's how it's going to be.
I'm going to pose a very theoretical question, but is the one stop going, say, if for the back runners, medium to hard or a hard soft going to be possible in this situation?
I think if they went for hard soft, or even soft hard, either way, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. There's going to be a lot of tyre saving, lots of holding back on pace, but I think most likely a two-stop will happen more likely for most of the drivers, but I think somebody will try it. I think one or two drivers are going to possibly try the one stop. But it's all just going to come down to, is there going to be safety cars, virtual safety cars? Because if there is going to be a safety car, that's just going to help them with tyre wear. And it all just comes down to that. Mexico Turn 1's very unpredictable.
Massively unpredictable, and especially being where the start finish is so far back on the straight. You can physically see where it is on your screen now. It is so far back that the rundown, you're better off being in the second row. You know, not even in the front row.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the real big thing. Is that I think the problem that is going to be good. Well, the problem that's going to be bad for the front runners and sort of midfield is going to be good for the guys behind. Generally, there's a lot of contact in the midfield. You generally see a bit of contact, even if there's not spins and stuff like that. You'll generally see a bit of front wing fly off and stuff like that. And for the guys from about 14th to 17th, this is going to help them a lot, especially if they're starting on mediums, which I believe most of them will be. I'll just have a quick look at who is on.
It's been on screen for a little while. We'll see that Burrito is going to go in on the mediums. Pingu is going to be on the mediums. Alex is on the mediums. And then AVS Fan is also on the mediums as well, while everyone else is going to be starting on softs. And of course, the top 10 have to start on their softs, which have been through qualifying. So as much as it shows on our screen 0 laps, realistically, we know that is 1 lap at least on those tyres.
Actually, it will probably be about 2 or 3 because of the force out lap and the in lap plus the hot lap. So it's going to be a bit of tyre wear, but even if they've backed off on the out lap and in lap, it's still going to be a little bit more tyre wear, which isn't going to help them at all. The one thing I am a little bit surprised by is how Sam, 95, Edited Ford, and Dynamo Dan have all gone for soft. I'm a little bit surprised by that.
What is their go-to plan then? What are they thinking is going to happen? So it's the mindset we're about to find out. And I'll tell you what, we're about to find out because the drivers are just lining up as we speak, of which we will get the 5 red lights and we will then be on our way. You can just see in the background the Mercedes lining up to the grid as they all sync up. We've had no desyncing as of yet. It has been decent. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And they're off. And it looks to be a good start from the Alpine. That's Wolf getting an amazing start off the line. Heading down to the straight. We can also see the Alfa Romeo around the outside. That's going to be Bibbin. Also getting a good run. It's not going to be good enough because he's lost a couple of positions. Itzvan is going to lose out on 2 positions on the opening lap as that Williams is going to nudge Itzvan off the track. A bit of contact between the two. Heading now into turn 4. Itzvan will get the position back and the Williams will have to concede. And while the midfield of Bibbin, not going on a great run, is now going to lose another position and will take out the Mercedes of TK Dab.
Any damage to Bibbin either. I think bit of lag, a few problems, some ghosting there, possibly just saved Bibbin from a pit stop. But a quick rundown of positions. Itzvan has of course gone down to P2, the pole sitter not having a good start. Bibbin has lost 2 positions so far, but the biggest losser is TK Dab, who of course was taken out and who's currently 6th place. But I've just realised JJ has lost 8 positions and has no front wing.
Oh.
That's a bit strange to see.
That was going to raise a lot of questions of what's happened. I'm looking at the moment at Artem. He's got overtaken by Harjay, but now he is within fighting distance to fight back down into this first corner. Will we get a safety car? Because there's a couple of retirements. No, I think they're in the pits, so we're all good, and the race can resume.
95 has retired. One Ferrari's gone.
Wonder what the reason is for that.
I think he got some damage. I think probably, generally, when you see somebody retired, it's not front wing damage. I think it's probably going to be side pod damage or something that can't be fixed. Or he would have, of course, carried on, which most people generally do, because there's a chance of having a comeback. But so far, biggest winner, Bortorito, P8, with Pingu, who has a penalty. I'm not sure for what.
Time
2-second penalty.
Track limits, that one will be. If it's 3 seconds, it's definitely one of those. Or cutting a corner, one of the two. Now, we're starting to see...
Or having lots of contact.
Yeah, you never know. You're starting to see little pockets of groups happening here. Now, this is going to be common later on in the race, where the gaps become bigger and they're going to become more predominant. We're going to see some DRS trains. Now, if you're new to F1, as there's a virtual safety car for edited form. Now, he's gone straight on the first corner.
Actually, I don't believe he has.
He did. Dead certain.
Did he? Okay.
Put money down,
I'm
you know?
not too sure. I'm not too sure, you know, did he retire or not? Because I saw him say that he retired. And then, like, then the virtual safety car came out, like, 30 seconds later, so I'm not too sure. It's go, go, go again. And it looks like BRT Wolf 7, all right start. Bit caught off by that, mid-corner. But he's pulling away from Itzvan, which, of course, isn't good for Itzvan. But a few people closing in, a few people going a bit too slow under virtual safety car.
It's going to space people out and it's going to annoy a lot of people. It's the worst thing ever is to be, you know, have a driver in front of you that isn't achieving their delta. It's the world. It just gets on my nerves. But that being said, we're starting to see the penalties creep up. Damn Rocks has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple track warnings. As well
as 3 drivers within 10 seconds.
I know. As well as the gaps opening up. We're seeing about seconds gaps forming, which meaning the DRS is not going to work for them.
Yeah, but Harjay has just held on to it, I believe. Just held on to... No, he hasn't. But Itzvan can now have a go. JJ's gotten a penalty currently. Both JJ and Alex Daegu on a lap behind. Both of them getting bad starts. Bortorito's down to P9, while Pingu does have a penalty. Is up to P8. And it looks like Bortorito's teammate Pineda is going for the move into turn 4. Alex Daegu has left. Not sure what happened there. Is he retiring?
The switchback, I'm just going to bring you back to Bortorito. The two AlphaTauris are battling it through Sector 2. That's turn 6 they've just gone round. And it was a switcheroo situation. Further back, Dynamo was looking to mount a move onto the Mercedes through the S's. Now, I've seen a move happen. That move has happened, and that was in the Tier 8. The Ferrari's going for it, but that Mercedes has gone extremely wide, and that's going to allow Dynamo an opportunity to fight, but he's going to hold back, and that Mercedes is pushing and shoving the AlphaTauri in front of him.
Itzvan could be looking for the lead here, as he will have DRS and he's closer than he has been on any other lap. He's now coming up very fast. Actually, he's not coming in too quickly though. It seems like he doesn't want to get his engine overheated or his tyres, but he's very close to the back of him. Within half a second for the last about lap and a half.
You want to focus your attention, but I'm going to hold you there, sorry. Battle for 10th has just spiced up massively because Borito has just lost 2 positions to the Mercedes and to the Red Bull. TK Dab and Dynamo got past him very quickly, very fast. So we need to check to see if there is damage. These guys have been fighting massively between them two.
I think Bibbins had a bit of a problem. He's going very slowly. But also, 2 horses have just passed him on the second straight, on that second DRS though. Not sure what happened to Bivin there, possible connection loss, potentially, or he could have just had a bad exit. As Dynamo Dan gets into P10 and TK Dab goes off there. Not sure what happened, didn't see what happened there. Few of the soft runners seem to be struggling though.
Are these tyres wearing out already? That's the
Yeah,
question we're
they
going to have to
wear
ask.
As again, it's close once again to BRT Wolf, close enough for de-icing. So is Harjay.
Itzman's going for it. Itzman's making a lunge. It is into turn 1. It's not going to be enough, though. He's going to have to hold back, but he's going to get the run out of turn 3. Get good traction here, and you can open the DRS again. It's the second lifeline within the battle. Now, that little attempt has allowed Harjay to close up behind. He was about 1.2 seconds behind. He's now 0.5 seconds behind. So that's why Itzman's been playing it safe than sorry. He's not been making the moves because he's got a McLaren right behind him.
Yeah, that's the risk, really. But I'm not trying to put anything down on this at the moment, sort of saying who's going to come out on top. But the problem is, I think Itzman went for it at the wrong time. I think maybe he should have pushed maybe a lap earlier, when he sort of got side by side and then pushed a bit more, and Pingu does get a penalty. Another one, I believe. But yeah, Itzman needs to get more. Oh! Itzman in the wall!
That was driver error. That wasn't even a case of, you know, the Hajar pushed him into it. It was nothing like that. That was pure driver error, and that has meant that now his race has been compromised.
This could lose him the race potentially, as Verlai's going for it on his past teammate of Damon Rocks as he goes into the grass a bit. Not sure where he's going. Maybe he wants to do a bit of mowing the lawn, a bit like Valtteri Bottas, but and he's going for it. And has he made it? He's gone deep. He's holding it. Yes, he has. Very close. Very difficult for both parties. I think they need to more focus on just sort of not keep on overtaking each other and just work as a team at the moment to try and close up to R10, because R10 is pulling away. I can't see the time difference between all of the drivers right now.
Nah, same here. But TK Dab is, well, Dynamo and TK Dab, them two have been fighting, as I mentioned a couple laps ago, throughout this race. Guess what? They're still fighting.
What?
They're still going at each other. You know, the knives are at the throats. They are so determined. And yes, and also, TK Dab went into the rear end of Dynamo because the safety car was called.
Damage to TK Dab, though. It looks like they reached the hairpin, though. They reached the hairpin. I think that's why. But it looks like Alex Dagu might be saying goodbye to a chance of anything today. He is P15 at the moment, and JJ is P14, but they are a lap down most of the grid. But everybody's pissing.
They are. It's roughly. I was going to say, it's roughly is around the time where we would be seeing them pit. Now,
personally, to me, a bit early.
I don't know. It'd be a good time. You'd be extending the medium stint for longer, for sure. But I feel it's a good time to do it.
Yeah. If it wasn't a safety car, I'll be a little bit worried. And somebody's off, I believe. It's been given up position. Not sure what.
You might need to give that place back.
No, I think he accidentally overtook him.
Yeah, even still under the steward's report, you've got to give it back.
I'm confused because it's been overtook Damon accidentally, and then he let Damon back through. So I'm not sure if that's the game or what's happening.
Alright.
I'm a little bit confused. But front runners in for pit stops. Who's going to take the lead?
That is a good question.
Oh, Cerrito! Is this man gonna go and take the lead? Yes, he is.
8-lap-old mediums. He started on the medium tyres. He's going to continue his stint because these guys still have another stop to go. So,
Not good for Artem. Oh.
What I was going to say is, like, is this man going to do what we're saying and doing the one stop and going for the hards next? Because if he does that, in theory, you know, he will do one stop, he'll do it roughly the same time as everyone else, and then extend further. And could possibly hold positions, and then all he has to do is defend.
Problem is, I'm just looking at Bortolito's best time, and he's the second slowest. Currently. On his lap time, of course, he is on mediums, but even other medium runners have been going faster than him. Such AVS fan, only so slow, but all of the other medium runners have actually been going faster. So that is a bit worrying, but I think what this is going to do is this just means that maybe the grid will be a bit closer, maybe it'll be more top 5, close, top 5, top 6. But Bivens found himself in P6 somehow. I'm not sure how. But yeah, Harjay is the fastest lap. Oh!
Ooh. That's not a time you want to get a penalty is under the safety car. That's beginner errors right there.
Where is he? Did he? I'm gonna have a quick look at what he got. Oh, he's on 9 seconds of penalty. Probably I would give a bit of advice to just say retire. 9 seconds of penalties will push him very far back if he does climb up the field.
I want to quickly.
A bit worried about that.
I want to talk about JJ11 and Alex Daegu. They have been given a blessing here because they're on their respective strategies, you know, and now they're given this blessing to get back with the pack and be able to fight for some positions because there are 14 drivers left, and for someone like Alex, he needs to overtake at least 4 of them, and he's got some points. So there's...
He's going into the pits though.
Delaying the time a little bit. Save some fuel while you're at it.
Well, personally, at the moment, I believe this will be actually the last lap of the safety car, because I believe it's only allowed to be out for 3 laps.
I've seen it out for 5. I've seen it out for 5, I swear on my life.
Which game though? Because this one changed it a bit.
I swear it was this one.
Could have it just been multiple collisions because of the safety car?
Honestly,
causing it.
Honestly, got memory like a goldfish. I could not tell you.
But yeah, JJ has caught up though. That's lucky, but I don't think Alex Daegu will, because they're coming to sector 3 now, and he's just started sector 2.
Well, the safety car is going to stay out with no call, and that is roughly around the time we get the call. So we're going to do one more lap behind the safety car, which will allow the McLaren to catch up. And hopefully, we've seen him fight within this battle as well.
I do think Alex Daegu had bad luck off of lap 1, but he's on mediums right now. JJ's on hards, not sure why he has gone for the hards. The 3 drivers in front of him, JJ on hards, Ick Verlies on mediums, but with 9 seconds of penalties. Oh, Dynamo Dan in the pit.
Why
2
Dynamo
drivers
pitting?
and a safety car, potentially. Onto a set of mediums, so he could be trying to extend it. But that's one position gain for Alex Daegu, so that's going to be useful for him. How old are his tyres? Okay, they're new. JJ is at risk. I think very bad strategy call. He's on hards. I don't think the one stop is going to work if you stop on lap 9.
No, it's that he will have to pit again because they will wear out, and he will possibly, if he does go for it, there is a possibility it'll happen, but there's also that risk of a puncture.
Yeah, and it's not even just the puncture. I think the puncture is the least thing of his worries. It's the other drivers. I think, he's further back in the grid, and if he wants to get into the points, Problem is, if he is going to try and one-stop it, he has to save his tyres a lot, which means reducing a lot of pace and holding back. But even if he is going to try and push and then go for soft, towards the end, I still, I'm not sure. I think it's difficult, and yay, we're going to be racing again very soon.
Absolutely, we're going to be racing very soon. So, safety car will now pace off ahead, and essentially Burrito, or Bortorito, I've changed that name about a gazillion times.
Yeah,
Bort will take the, essentially will become the safety car. He can pounce whenever he wants, but once he pounces, he must commit to the pounce, of which he is waiting till the very last second. That Alpine is side by side, and I think this overtake is going to happen very early. There you go. Wolf is going to get an absolutely sterling launch and will take the lead of the race. But Bort is going to then get the slipstream and might late lunge this into the first turn. He's not. He's going to hold position.
Oh, Artem's round!
That is an oof, if I can say so myself, as Bort is going to further fall down. Those old mediums are not doing anything for him. Not anything positive, at least. You can see at the rear end, the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo battling it out as Istvan is climbing through the field after pitting under the safety car.
I'm not sure what Bibbin is up to right now, because he just seems to be struggling a lot to keep going, and he's on fresh mediums. He just has not had. Just thinking, is it his tyres? Are they too cold? Or is he just really struggling on that medium compound? Because he looked fast on the soft, possibly when he gets soft.
What? Sorry? Istvan? You don't overtake that. We don't see people use the third DRS zone at all, but Istvan demonstrating that you can make it work.
Istvan lies side by side with Bibbin, being pushed, a bit of contact there. There might be a bit of a look at that. Panida's round with full damage.
Look at the train from AVS fan backwards. These guys are all wanting to make a move. Verlis is going to go down on the inside into turn 1, but the door is nearly shut in his face. It does open back up because the switchback is possible. Bibbin has to go wide, and you can see the traction that is better from the Haas, and as the Haas is going to make a lunge into turn 4. Into turn 4 we go round the outside, allow him the inside turn. How can he make it stick here? He can for the moment, and he will make the move work into turn 6.
JJ is 9th at the moment. That is very good for JJ, right behind Bibbin, who seems to be struggling. And JJ is on halves, so he's done very well to gain I believe a few positions from this. Very good for him. Looking further in front, RJ just can't catch BRT Wolf at the moment. Just that gap, 1.6 seconds, and that is getting bigger. Plus, with the 3-second penalty, RJ has as well, and DRS is now enabled.
Oh.
It's going to be a big thing for the drivers. Is DRS going to be on this pit straight? It's not.
Not for this bit, but for the definitely for the next section for sure. Actually, there is no detection zone, isn't? Oh, no, there is. There is a detection zone at the end of the straight.
And Damon Rocks may be looking for the move on Bortorito. He's got the overspeed, but no DRS. But he's going for it. He's going for it. Damon Rocks goes for it. Has the half pulled it off. Going around the outside. He keeps it within track limits and he makes the overtake. I don't know what to say about that.
Pretty neat, but that Ferrari, Istvan, is looking up and eyeing up an opportunity to maybe get past the AlphaTauri as well, as the battle for 6th is also heating up, as Velais will take 6th place off a VS fan. Again, we mentioned the overtakes happening in Sector 2. It's probably one of the harder areas to do it, but they are happening thick and fast.
I just want to say, I think Velais may get disqualified soon. He currently is sitting on 12 seconds of penalties at the moment. he gets another 5-second penalty, he will be disqualified. Actually, even if he gets 3 seconds, he's going to get disqualified. And it's been Tomasi going for it on Bortorito.
Bortorito took a risk, and it's not paid off. But the one thing that's in his favour right now is he has now a 3-second gap between the kind of mayhem battle that is further back. As JJ is having a little tussle with the McLaren in this battle for 6th. You can see them all bunched together. It is from 6th to 12th. 6th driving in its contact from the Alfa Romeo. Beerpen has lost something as it's 3 wide behind. I can't actually give you a good camera angle. They are all... Everyone's battling it out. Red Bull's gone. That's Dynamo out. And still, Alex and ABS are still going at it. The Williams of JJ have gained now up to 7th safety car.
And JJ has got another penalty, which leads him to 11 seconds of penalties. Not good for him. This might mean, again, disqualification possibly from the penalties. But also, it's going to be very difficult. He's going to drop through the field. But we just started getting going again, and then somebody chooses to crash.
I don't care. I think we needed that break. That was going to get a bit too hectic, and I couldn't talk that fast. There was too many names in there. As Alex Daegu is deciding to stay out, and he's now putting himself in 3rd.
I'll have a look at his tyres at the moment. Only 5 laps old. So they will still last. I think, again, going for another set of mediums. I'm not confident in that, personally. I'm not confident in that, because if our lap 16, they're still going to have to pit again. If these tyres are lasting, even if we say 10 laps, which I believe they will, 10 to 12 laps, I believe it is, for mediums. And JJ's out. JJ has retired as well. But yeah, I'm not sure about all these guys going on. Bortorito's gone hard, so he has tried to go for that one stop.
Can I just make a very, very quick point? Wolf and Itzfan have not pitted. They are on 6 to 8 lap old mediums. They will not get an opportunity to pit because they are trailing the safety car. So that has screwed up their opportunity to possibly pit. And if they do pit now, they're going back down the field.
Yeah. Personally, to me, I'm not confident in people boxing at this point. The tyres are relatively young. And most of these laps have been under safety car as well, which just means they're probably going to be able to take...
Wolf in the pits.
BRT Wolf is going in, but like I was saying, I'm just not confident. You know, I think the guys who haven't pitted are still going to last until roughly the same point as the guys who have pitted.
Do you think... I think what they're trying to do is essentially eke out a fresh set of mediums. So then come near the end, they have a super fresh set of softs that are going to be punchy and fast on the last few laps.
It all depends on your pace, because it also all depends on how big is the difference between the old mediums and the new ones. That's the big question. Is it going to be, if it's going to be 2-3 tenths a lap, that isn't, you're not going to pull a big enough gap. Even in 10 laps, that's 3 seconds. You're not going to pull a big enough gap. But if it's, a second a lap, then, spend 12 laps, you can get a pretty good lead. But again, for people who are going to try and take the lead, for instance, from TK Dab, Alex Daegu, Harjay, they've still got Itzman to beat, who seems to be, currently, I would say, other than BRT Wolf, I would say fastest guy, but still BRT Wolf. I think both BRT Wolf and Itzman roughly same pace.
It's going to be interesting when those two get back together again and have a little squabble, because they haven't had a formal squabble over the lead as such, because we've seen that Itzvan is capable of moving through that field lovely and smoothly. It's just whether he can then take that pace and put it against the rivals at the front, being the likes of Wolf. Now, I also want to make a point. Remember how Alex Daegu was in dead last?
Yep.
He's in second now.
Yeah. And he's on relatively fresh tyres as well. That's, his tyres are the youngest out of the three people who haven't pitted. So, personally to me, I think he could be the guy to take the lead of the race and possibly win this. Although Daegu, he showed some pace. When he's been pushing, he showed some pace. It all just depends on when you push and how much you push.
Artem
And really, how much do you want the lead?
Exactly. I'm just going to make a quick note. Artem was in the pits. He was on 1 lap old hards. I think he's changed his mind because he's going on 2 lap old mediums. That or he's a ghost.
No, he isn't a ghost. He's actually driving. I think it only does that when they're coming out of the pits, so they don't cause contact. But still, few shocks. I just want to make a point of a few shocking sort of drivers this race. Bibbin started, I think it was like P5, P6. He's P9 at the moment. He just hasn't. The mediums have not been his friend this race. They have definitely not been his friend. Also, I want to talk about Damon Rocks. I want to talk about him. The sort of quiet guy, so far, the guy who's sort of seen in the background. He hasn't been making ridiculous moves or doing, anything that is, amazing, but he's been there. If he has got 8 seconds of penalties, which is going to hurt him, but it's still going to be pretty close.
He's in a beautiful position, and with the pitting as well, he's got fresher mediums, so that's massively going to help him as well. So there is potential for Damon to possibly pull something out the bag. Safety car is now going back in. We're going to be resuming racing once again. That's unfortunate at the back. Very unfortunate at the back, as there's a mixture on the lead. We're going to be focusing here. You can see Alex Daegu. He's got the inside line. He's waiting. Oh, no! Itzvan has spun it, which means Alex Daegu takes the lead of the race. He's about to lose it.
TK down. Oh, and RJ is coming in down the middle.
Wow! 3 abreast in we go. And it's gonna be RJ who'll take it as what's with the Mercedes gone?
He spun round at turn 1. Oh, and oh! Damon Ross takes the lead! Oh my god!
Damon, who we said was acting all so quiet, the car number 2 on the Haas, has taken the lead of the race. I would be ecstatic with what he has done, and now he has a load more laps to go. I'm not doing the maths in my head. To hold off RJ, and RJ has been battling for the lead this entire race. He's been in the top 3, top 4, constantly battling up there.
BRT Wolf's going for it on Alex Daegu. The P3, bit of contact, and Iqbalize is behind, wanting to pick up after Alex Daegu, bit of contact with him. But Iqbalize does have a 12-second penalty, so most likely won't get podium or anywhere close. But again, another driver who's just pulled through from P8 to P3 is BRT Wolf. This man is an alien.
Veliz going for a move. Veliz is going for a move. Itzvan has retired from the race. He said it's done. But we're looking at Veliz. He will make the lunge on Alex Daegu. Those 9-lap-old mediums are not working for him anymore. Unfortunately, his rise to the top is slowly going to crumble as he will fall down the field.
Iqbalize is a 15-second penalty right now, which is huge. I'm actually a bit shocked by that. But Bibbin up to P6, making a bit of return. Bortorito struggling.
He lost
some damage.
I don't know, but he lost 2 positions within 1 corner. He is not looking happy on those hards.
Bortorito with a penalty now. This is going to hurt him even more. I thought Bortorito could be up there, but he is struggling on those hards. Bit shocking how he's really struggling. But the 2 Mercedes, P10 and P11, looking a bit like Saudi Arabia. Lewis Hamilton, P10, Real Grand Prix. Yeah, it's quite difficult for Mercedes today. I think they've had their moments, but ABS fan just hasn't had good luck, and neither has TK Dab.
is something lacking, as Artem will be the next driver to make an overtake. He's going to be lunging it down the inside of turn 1. Whether he can make that stick, he's got a bit more room to go, but the late braking from the AlphaTauri will definitely keep it in contention, but not enough contention to say that I am keeping the position. Bibbin is the next driver to be fairly close, and it's close to Alex Daegu on those old mediums. Bibbin on those fresher ones does not have the pace to make it into turn 4, and will have to wait around for a bit longer for the next opportunity to arise.
But with Bibbin, Damon Vox gets another 3-second penalty, making that now 11. But for Bibbin, he stepped it up a bit more after the safety car. He just seems to have found his feet a bit, and Bolsonaro goes into P8 ahead of Pineda.
He's not. He's going for it. That's a risky, and he's made it stick. That's all I need to say.
Is the AVS fan still last? Difficult day for him, I would say. He struggles this race. And Pineda is going into the pit, so he will pull into the points. Not the points that I don't think that's the points.
Oh, Pineda getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane while he was going into the pits as well. That's not what you're going to see. And there's a Williams. Hello, Artem. That was a late move.
It's like he hesitated at first and then went to it as the lead changes hands. Damon Rock's fighting with Harjay as Harjay takes the lead. I believe this is for the first time, this race.
It is the first time, but Damon is got a better exit. If he can maintain good pace through these S's, I think Damon has got an opportunity to come back. But he needs to stay
so
close.
BRC Wolf.
Wolf has been...
Wolf is having his opportunity. Though he's very low on ERS, coming on 6%. Very low. And I think he's been pushing, but you can see, look at this. Has Wolf just been, gotten 1,000 IQ strategy and to just push the top 2 into having to make a very tough decision?
He's got a far better exit. He's already cruising past, and there is Damon. He was in first for so long, but he's not going to be there for long. Though, they hold pace. They're still going side by side. The ERS from the Haas is definitely working, but it just won't be enough to hold back BRT Wolf, which will allow the Wolfpack to chase after Harjay, who's gone wide. So now there is a greater opportunity and possible move at the end of this, but not just yet. You want to hold back, be patient, and wait for the moment to pounce. Because even though Damon has been overtaken, Damon's still punching. He's wanting to take something from the mistake of the leaders.
I've just got this one question. How is Iqbalize allowed to race? He's got 21 seconds of penalty. How is Brad still racing?
You can get up to about 34 seconds of penalty. I know that because in Season 6 of Mexico, I got 34 seconds penalties before getting disqualified. So you can actually accumulate quite a lot of penalties here, which will play a massive role because technically our leader may be Harjay, won't be for long because it will be Wolf all in all. Because when I say all in all, I mean all in all. Because he's going for it into turn 1. But it's not just going to be one driver. Damon's going for it as well. Wow.
This has been one of the best league races I've ever seen. And there goes ABS fan on Bortorito. Now both the tables have turned between Mercedes and AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri, the bottom 2 cars, and Mercedes now up into P9 and P8. But so far, it's crazy. Harjay really lost out there on the straight. He has plenty of ERS, but I don't think he used it at the right time. I think he used it a bit late, a little bit early on that straight, which lost him some time, but he's losing time. A bit of lag.
I think Harjay decided to save up because this is such a powerful start-finish straight. It is a stupidly long straight at that. There is a lot of power you can create from this. and you can easily pounce and overtake at the end of it as Damon goes wide, compromising the opportunity to make an overtake on this lap. Unless he's going to Danny Rick this, which I don't think is doable at 0.8 seconds behind.
Well, we'll just have to see. I can't see if he's using overtake or not. I don't believe he is, but look at how much he's pulled in as TK Dad is into the pit. Damon Rock gets another penalty. 14 seconds now. That does rule him out. That will mean he will finish P3. That's actually no. He'll finish. I don't know where. He's just going to finish miles behind. And there's a yellow flag out on the circuit. Pineda spun round. Bit of a strange place to spin round in the final sector.
Yeah, you could spin around anyway. Too much throttle and you're gone. I learned that the hard way, unfortunately. But just a bit further back, we saw that Bibbin and Artem exchanged positions. Bibbin's now in 5th. So after having a terrible midsection to his race, he's back in 5th place. So great recovery from Bibbin. And it's good to see that he is able to, you know, dig his feet in after a disappointment and just keep going. Back to the front though, Damon is a little bit closer. He's 0.6 of a second behind. It is a doable distance, but you would have to use a lot of ERS, of which...
it's half a second. It's already closing down.
It's closing to the point where this is going to be a move waiting to happen. Unfortunately, Hard J's not going to get anything from this. Damon is going to go around the outside and get a beautiful line into the first turn, and that's easy works. Though he's got 14 seconds of penalties, he does not care. He will take the honourable race win, and that is what he's aiming for right now.
Artem has gotten, I just want to say, Artem has now gotten in front of Bibbin once again, with Alex Dagu closing up behind. But yeah, that lead, I was saying this earlier in the safety car, the difference between new mediums when people pitted and old mediums wasn't going to be a big difference. There wasn't going to be a huge difference towards the end of the race.
Well, we're only 10 laps away. It will become 9 in a few moments' time. And we are just tantalizingly getting closer to who will actually end up crossing the line in front. At this point in time, it is technically Wolf's for the taking. He can stay chill, he could overtake, he could play it safe. He is going to win this as of right now because of penalties which are shown up on your screen. But I think it's pride and glory that these drivers are going for, because once again, there's an exchange of lead and Wolf has taken the lead again.
I have no words at the moment. This is some really nice but really clean racing as well. This is what WOR is about. You know, this top sort of racing. And even though it's tier 5, I have to give it to them. They're racing amazingly. They're doing really well. And in tier 4, it's way more messy than this in tier 4, as I recall. Somebody was spinning like every corner of the circuit. But honestly, crazy race. But Damien Rocks has 17 seconds of penalties. The penalties are now just starting to climb up, especially because currently the leader on penalties is Ickverlines with 24 seconds of penalties. But still, there's a lot of penalties going around. Damien Rocks won't win, RJ won't win, all the top 5 won't win. But Bibbin will be on for P2 and Alex Dagu P3. This is the best outcome for these guys.
I'm just trying to do the maths very quickly here. And I'll just show you that maths on screen. So in theory, Artem needs to close up a little bit more. And Artem will take 3rd. Actually, no, he'll take 2nd. As Artem will overtake, and actually, no, that man is now going to definitely take... He's going to take 2nd place. Right now, as we speak, he is looking to take 2nd place. With penalties included.
Yeah, I've just realised that.
Oh wait, no, he's got 3 seconds. No, don't worry. Scrap that. I didn't look at his 3 seconds.
Yeah. So Bibbin, so the two people who at the start of midway through the race, we said they're not going to get a podium, you know, possibly P10, P9. These guys, you know, Alex Dagu went from being like a minute behind the leader to being for a chance for P3, and Bibbin has gone from struggling on mediums twice to all of a sudden he could be on for P2. What is going on?
It's getting all complicated and technical, but Bibbin is someone to keep an eye out for because, again, he's been a clean driver, and look at where he is. He's in 6th currently, and if he makes an overtake here and closes up to the front a bit more, he's looking for decent points positions here, and he's going to make it happen as he is closing down onto Velais. Velais is also closing the gap onto the Williams ahead of Artem. They're going to hold position, though there is contact, and that's spun, and also taking out Alex as well. So Velais and Alex making contact through a little push and nudge.
Podium. It looks like he could be out of a podium. He's got damage to his front wing. Oh no, the return was so close. Oh, I feel really bad for him. As Velais, the man who caused the damage, goes past him. Oh, anger. Lots of anger with that. As Alex Davis was just left, I believe, in a bit of rage.
Do you know what that means? MRT Pinder, assuming Alex's car retires. Wait, he's a ghost. Is he a ghost now? No, let's answer that first. Yes, it's a ghost. So this man, who's had an up and down race, currently running in 11th, is gonna get a point. Because by
unless he gets more penalties.
No, yeah, unless he gets disqualified. But by technicality, he will get points. Because, and
no, he's gonna get them anyway.
No, because Alex Dagu is in a 9th, the 10th, sorry, with a ghosted car. Hence, he will not be getting any points because he is not driving the car come crossing the line.
Yeah. What I mean is that the two cars are in the pit, and it's been Pineda can catch up to Velais and Alex Dagu and possibly take 9th. So a good chance for Pineda there. We'll have to see if any action does happen as Pineda will take P10. He has come out in P10 now. But BRT Wolf leading with half a second for Damon Rocks. RJ has fallen off quite a bit. That's quite big, about 3.7 seconds off of just Damon Rocks. Altogether about 4.5 seconds off of BRT Wolf. Bibbin still in P5 behind Artem.
Yeah, I was going to say, Harji doesn't need to attack this pack. He knows he's not going to win the race. So rather than playing the risk, which Damon is doing, he's attacking, he's going for pride. You know, Harji's actually playing strategy here and going, you know what? I'm not in a position that I'm going to win. So I might as well just go and try and just keep within a time difference.
Bit of news on Bibbin. He does have 2 warnings. That is a big thing for Bibbin. He does have 2 warnings at the moment, which will mean if he does use track limits too much again, he will get a penalty and he'll be out. Chance for podium.
Risk and reward there, as Bibbin is, as I said, we've been keep mentioning his name fairly often. He's been within the pack. He's definitely had some struggles, but you know, this is some good points he's going to get today. As we are closing down the leaders, heading round the final 2 corners. We're going on lap 32 out of 36. These two have been squabbling at the front for a while. Even though Wolf has no penalties, Damon is still determined to say, I am the technical race winner here.
Alex Dagu has just denied Pineda by returning to 8th. He's denied Pineda of points as Alex Dagu is back to the lobby and he's racing again.
WOR rules will say he will get points.
Yeah. Oh, Someone's gotten overtaken, and Bortorito having a comeback on those hards. He's up to P6. He was P10 at one point.
He's
And
gone.
now he's...
I was going to say he's gone quite deep though, so that's going to open the door up to AVS Fan. Whether that move's going to stick, it will just. He got away with it because he went stupidly deep into turn 1.
Yeah, I think that's the risk. You want to try and dive bomb from further back. That is the risk. Going through turn 2 and turn 3, you're going to be compromised all the way. It doesn't matter if it's entry speed or exit speed. One of them you are going to be compromised with.
Those hards.
But he was lucky.
Those hards are playing a big role in his race right now. We put them off, but now he's finding pace. You can see he's already pulling away on the timing screen. He's pulling away and closing on to Bibbin, actually. I don't think he'll have enough time necessarily to catch him. Of course, penalties will say that he won't get it as well. But that would be quite an achievement if he can at least close it to a reasonable gap.
Yeah, I think... Don't forget, Bortorito does not have DRS, so he is most likely going to fall further back because he doesn't have DRS at the moment, while Bibbin does. But two people I'm absolutely amazed by is first ILR Bibbin. This man has only gotten 2 warnings across the race, while other people are having 20 seconds of penalty. He's done really well, but I'm shocked by one man. I'm mind-boggled by this. BRT Wool. This man has 1 warning by what I saw. I'm not sure how he's human. I'm not sure if he is even human. Because he's only got 1 warning. How is this? I couldn't get around 1 lap without getting a warning. This man is too good.
It is brilliant work. Both of these drivers, Bibbin and Wolf, demonstrating that, with great practice and patience, you can do this race with great confidence. And, I envy the fact that these guys are consistent. And that's what it is. It's consistency around a track. You're either fast or you're consistent. Well, Wolf today has demonstrated both. He's consistent and he's fast. And then Bibbin, though as we've mentioned had his rough patch, he is consistent though, and hence he's going to get some good points out of this. And coming round, we're about 2.5 laps away from finishing. And I want to give credit to Damon right now. I feel it's very much needed. Though there's 20 seconds to his name, that man has produced the best strategy he could and has made this very entertaining at the front, put Wolf under pressure to almost say, come on, man, mess up for me.
Yeah. I can't believe how everybody... I don't think there's really been much... I haven't seen any sort of dirty driving, anybody sort of hitting each other off to win. That's how crazy it is. These guys... Oh! Disqualified. Equalised, disqualified. Do you know what this actually means? This means he will get, I believe, a qualifying ban for the next race, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check on that afterwards. But I do believe he does get it if you do get disqualified. Which is not going to be good for him.
And 2 laps away from finishing as well is the worst place you can have your disqualification. So close to finishing it. It's so annoying. Now Damon, you can imagine Damon's sitting there absolutely wetting himself because he's worried about this disqualification that's possibly looming over him. He's
still got to get another 15 seconds though. So, sorry, another 10 seconds of penalties. He hasn't actually gotten the penalty in about, I think, 8 or 9 laps, so I think he's driving more clean.
You're going to curse it. You're absolutely going to curse it now. It's going to happen. As Damon has actually closed up massively, he's going to do a last lap lunge. That is almost guaranteed. All the ERS is about to be deployed as of right now as we head to the final lap we go. You can see Wolf is weaving. He doesn't want to concede the position because it's pride, it is honor. But can he hold it on this last lap? It's going to be a late lunge. It's not late enough, as the Alpine of Wolf will stay ahead on this final lap. Damon has got to get a clean exit. He's gone wide. Screw track limits. He's going for everything he's got. DRS once again open up. Any remaining ERS? No, it's not good enough. And BRT Wolf, if he can maintain it through the S's, has got this in the bag from start to finish. Wolf has demonstrated such raw, consistent pace and has definitely been fighting amongst the front throughout the race, no matter what pressure behind him. May that be Damon, may that be Bibbon, may that be Harjay, may that be Istvan, who got who crashed out and retired. Doesn't matter, because BRT Wolf is rounding the stadium section and will see the fireworks, the confetti, because BRT Wolf is Tier 10 Mexico Grand Prix winner.
Tier 6, mate. Wow. I'm amazed, you know, Tier 6 winner gets it in there. Very nice. But, how? Bibbin does get P2.
Wow.
And Arson does get P3. Well done to both of those guys. And Pineda will get the points he wanted. He is going to get that 1 point. And Bortorito does finish 7th. So he does get 6 points today. But, that was crazy. You know, BRT Wolf, what a win. This man deserves, you know, an award. You know, more than just a win. I think, you know, this man is a good title contender. And Bibbin, P2 though, this man, he has had his struggles this race. But he's come back in the dying parts of the race, the last, you know, 10 laps, and he's fought back to get P2. And also, one guy that I don't think I've actually really spotted today is Artem.
Yeah.
You know, P3. You know, I don't think we've spoken about this man enough. You know, I saw him in another race in tier 5, and you know, he's good. He's got pace, and today he showed even with a penalty, he could still get a podium.
It was brilliant work, and you know, he was fighting within the pack at the back, the mid pack. He was amongst them. There was a definite tussle between them all, and out through it all, he's been able to keep the car clean enough that he's been able to get some decent points. And that's what you love to see from this. It's just decent points. And congratulations to him. And as I said, congratulations to the other drivers. So, in terms of the race, well, in first place was Wolf. Second, purely through penalties, Bibbin takes second. Artem in third. Harjay in fourth. Though crossing the line second, Damon will take fifth. Still, absolutely amazing drive from him. AVS Fan will take 6th. Bortorito will take 7th. TK Dab in 8th. Alex Dago in 9th. Pineda will take 10th, though technical rulings will switch them to around, and Pineda will get the 9th 2 points from this race. Istvan did not finish. JJ didn't finish. Dynamo, Pingu, edited, Sam, and Wu did not finish, and then a disqualification from Verlies.
Yeah, crazy. I have to give it to even the people who didn't finish the race. I have to give it to them. It's a difficult circuit for track limits, for everything. It's close racing all the time.
It is.
I'm just amazed.
It is.
My eyes are wide open.
It has been an absolutely joyful race to watch, and I thought Monza was like my go-to kind of always action, kind of something amazing's gonna happen. I might have to resort it to Mexico now after that run.
Yeah.
That was pretty intense.
Are we gonna have any driver interviews?
No, we don't. Not with me. We don't have the facilities as of yet to perform the interviews. I didn't even have the opportunity to get the replays rolling, but that is a feature of Tier 5, which I'll be implementing later on. Talking of implementing later on, we're going to be heading to the Land Down Under, which is also this weekend on the actual F1, but next week we'll be heading to Land Down Under as we head to Australia. Unfortunately, it's the old layout, not the new layout, which will be quite interesting.
I love Australia. Such a great track.
I'm the opposite. I'm a bit of a... I don't like driving it. It's just one that gives me that bit of frustration because those curbs are deadly. But that comes from a street circuit.
Just mastering it. I think what you have to realise about Australia is it's all about, it's very difficult for, I think, more the front end of the car than the rear end. You just see the front end doesn't want to always turn in. But the track's difficult in its own ways, though, compared to others. Mexico's tight in some areas, but also the S section. Australia's got the thing of constantly the front end's trying to just leave you and just go in a separate direction. But also, I have to say, I like the circuit just because it flows. It's just a very nice flowing circuit that works.
It does. It does. Once you get your rhythm, once you get your drive, Australia is amazing. But that will come, as I said, next week. Epic. It's literally been your name. It has been epic this weekend. Anything to finish off this session today?
I've got no words, honestly. It was so good. Best race I've ever seen. Or even I've been sort of participated in. Best thing ever. I would watch this more. The actual F1 season.
Well, first of all, thank you for joining along. If you've been watching, I said, stay tuned for the rest of the week because there is still more action coming up. Tomorrow, we've got Tier 10. If you want to dive down that low, Tier 10 races will be having a battle as well as Tier 7 going around the Mexican track. But if you're not willing to wait, if you're not willing to watch the lower tiers, well, then just wait a bit longer. We'll be heading to Australia next week. On Sunday, we'll be seeing the PC Tier 1 guys fighting it out. On Monday, it's the Xbox Tier 1 duking it out as well. And then it all is, from there onwards, the tiers goes onwards and upwards. I've been Hyperactive, and thank you all for watching this amazing